I'm here. Hi, everyone. Hello. Hey. Hi. How are you all? I hope you're doing well. Hi, everybody. I'm Trooper SJP, and this is the Academic Foxhole. Welcome in, everyone. How are you? Hey. Whew. I had to go to the bathroom before I started the stream. I got everything set up, and then I had to go to the bathroom. But I'm done, and I have a Dr. Pepper, and I'm here with you all. Hey, everybody. Hey, Krellin, and also Ice Bunny, and Vulpes, and Aneo. Aneo's driving. Aneo, are you being safe? Are you safe? Oh, happy Horny Wolf Day. I think happy Horny Werewolf Day, I think, is the actual thing. It's horny. Doctor. Yes. Hey, B Boodle. There was hi Fogside. Hi, everybody. There was what was it? There was a TV show or a movie when somebody came out of the bathroom, like I just came out of the bathroom, the person's like, did you wash your hands? And the person like puts their hands on the person's face and was like, no, some sort of comedy. It was funny. Krellin, I am a pepper and you are a pepper and like he's a pepper, she's a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? Hey everybody, happy Horny Werewolf Day. How are you all doing? What is exciting? I am just personally, it was a long day. I did stuff, I taught. I was sort of irresponsible in my teaching, but I don't care because I do what I want. I feel like it was something kind of Scrubs-like. It was one of those like, no, but it was like kind of jokey. What did I do? Oh, I was super irresponsible in teaching today. I do what I want. I was teaching the British invasion, and as you know, I can only usually get 3 songs in, sometimes 4 if I push it. But I had to talk about the midterm today, which took up like 20 minutes of my class time, and I don't have that much class time, so I, was really constrained. And so I did Lulu because I really wanted to talk about women in the British invasion. Hey, Jer. And oh, I love Dr. Pepper Ice Bunny. I think it's delish. And they're not paying me, so, so I wanted to talk about Lulu because I think it's important to sort of note that there were women in the British invasion. They just didn't make it across the ocean as much. So I was talking about her because I wanted to talk about working classness and northern sounds and blah, blah, blah. And then I realized, like, I don't have a lot of time left, and I still have all this other stuff that I really needed to do as part of the lecture that I really wanted to do. So, oh, hey, Bluetooth through the audio in the car, Neo. Yeah. I'm a tool. I'm a tool of the Big Spice. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. But if the first 2 letters are ever the same, I drop them both, then say the name like Bob. Bob, drop the B's, Bo-ob, or Fred. Fred, drop the F's, fo-red, or Mary. Mary, drop the M's, mo-airy. That's the only rule that is contrary. Be boodle-floof, be boodle-floof, be boodle-floof, bo-e-boodle-floof, banana, fana, fo-fi, foodle-floof, fee-fi-mo-me, moodle-floof. Be boodle-floof. Woo! Oh, gosh. Thanks so much for the subscription, Be Boodle-floof. Not only because it is much appreciated, and thank you so much, I appreciate it, but also because your name starts with B, which gives me an excuse to sing the extra add-on rules of the name game, which are my favorite. So thank you so much. Oh. Well, first off, I don't know if all teachers love To Serve With Love, although I did, so I thought it was awesome. Prune flavored soda for the win. Ice Bunny says that Red Bull tastes like dead gummy bears. That's fine. See, the problem with you saying British invasion is I wasn't sure you meant pop. Or right, maybe the time when Canadians burned the White House or British colonialism in the Americas. I meant the musical British invasion. The first musical British invasion, because I think the second British invasion was Oasis and all of that stuff. My house, come on in my house, come on in my house, I'm gonna give you candy. Come on in my house, I'm gonna give you everything. Critwitch, thank you so much for the host. It is much appreciated. Ooh, the name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, or info. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fine, a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Critwitch, bo, bitwitch, banana, fana, fo, fitwitch, fee, fi, mo, mitwitch. Critwitch. Thank you so much for the resub, Critwitch. How long's it been? Like 19 months? What? It's a Critwitch invasion! Hey everybody, this is so exciting. Yeah, Britpop was the second invasion, that is right. There was a new wave of British heavy metal before Britpop. But the thing is, I think it had a big impact, but I don't think it was called an invasion. Yeah. And you could call the punk revolution a British invasion too. No, I did not curse, Krellin. I said Bitwitch. I'm very careful whenever Critwitch resubs that I do not curse when I do his name. I did not curse. It was Critwitch, bo, bitwitch, banana, fano, fo, fitwitch, fee, fi, mo, mitwitch, Critwitch. I know, but I take off both ones. It should be Britwitch. That's probably true. But the problem is with the R, I drop the R because you can't really say Fritwitch. Well, I mean, I suppose you could say Fritwitch, but Mritwitch is super difficult to say. So I just drop that R. Then say the name like Bob. Bob, drop the beast bow. Sorry, that's the... Right, so let's just drop it. Also, if somebody's name was... Yeah. Like, yeah. How am I a coward? A true artist would say Mritwitch. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm not a true artist. Maybe I'm just a poser. Me and the Sex Pistols. They had a military shop, but we could not shop in there when I was a kid. Thank you, Critwitch. Thank you very much. Spoonerism rules. Oh, yikes. What? Who? What? Wait, what? Who? What? As PIL said, I've seen that movie, Me and the Sex Pistols. Oh. No, look, I don't believe in posers. I just feel like that is not super interesting. I'm not interested in narratives of authenticity. So aren't you disappointed? No ties. Yeah, so you can't shop in a U.S. military store unless you're in the U.S. military. Even U.S. people who are not military cannot shop there because there's a thing about taxes, right? That you don't have to pay sales taxes at the PX and certain tariffs you don't have to pay. So you have to be, details. I have all the things I want to tell you all. I also am trying to get my controller on thing, the what. So I don't think I finished telling you my story. I was so distracted talking about Lulu. So what happened was I wanted to get in the Beatles and I also wanted to get in the Rolling Stones to contrast the North and the South and the good guys and the good boys and bad boys and all of that. But I also realized I was running out of time and I really wanted to do something else more. So I did talk about the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, but super briefly. I didn't even play the full songs. I played like part of Please Please Me and also part of Satisfaction. And I was like, you all know the Beatles, you all know the Rolling Stones, do. And then I finished up the lecture talking about race relations in England and ska and did Little Millie Small, because I just feel like all of my students already know the Beatles and they already know the Rolling Stones, and I could, they've listened to them, they know them, they read about them. And so I just spent more time talking about Lulu and Little Millie Small, who they don't know, to sort of get through the larger discussions of the complicated nature of U.S. racial imaginations of the UK and UK racial imaginations of the US and then of themselves. And so I was a little bit, irresponsible about not spending all of my time talking about the Beatles and also the Rolling Stones. But I just feel like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones don't really need me to talk about them because they have enough fans in Rolling Stone magazine. My Boy Lollipop, B-Boodle, yes. Yes, My Boy Lollipop. Yeah, right? So that's all, right? I was like, I'm going to do, and My Boy Lollipop was the very first ska hit. And I just thought it would be more important to think about that. But the thing is, I asked Krellin on the first day of class, one of the things I do when I teach history of rock and roll, on the very first day of class, I ask the class this question. I say, dear class, we're going to be talking about the history of rock and roll, and we're going to be talking about popular music more generally, and we're also going to talk about stories that we tell ourselves and all of that. So I just want to ask you, class, this question. I think I told someone I didn't know who Bob Dylan was, and that made him sad. Yeah, we never have enough time. Millie's was my aunt's nickname because she... Oh, no way, that's so cool, B-Boodle. Yeah, so this is what I asked the question, and this is like so interesting. I do this all the time in this class. I say, who is the best and most important band of all time? I ask my students on the first day of class. Oh, was it really? Oh, yay. So I asked them, what is the most important band, the best band of all time? And the students always know the answer. They know that the answer is the Beatles. And once they all tell me the Beatles, they're all like, oh, it's the Beatles. It's the Beatles. That's the most important and the best band of all time. It's the Beatles. And these are like, 18, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. And then I say, okay, so the Beatles are the most important band of all time for the last 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 years. It's the most important band of all time in history is the Beatles. How many of you even like the Beatles? Like, how many of you really know them? And how do you know that's the right answer, right? Because this is the question to ask. Because really, right, out of all countries in the world and out of all time in the world, the most important and best band of all time is the Beatles. How do you know that one? Like, where did that answer come from? And so I try to get them to think about the ways in which we all know that this is the right answer, even though probably most of them don't even listen to the Beatles, although actually quite a few of them do. You'd be surprised. Best band is BTS. At a class on side when we had to stand for an hour and a half, listen to the head curator of that place. Ugh. See, Volpez has the right answer. There is no way to answer that question. Right? Exactly. The minute everyone's like, and the thing is, nobody says other bands. Whenever I ask that question, nobody says something else. They always say the Beatles. Either they say the Beatles or they say nothing. And I try to point out that that is ridiculous, right? Like, it makes no sense. First off, the whole question is stupid. Right? We need more of a definition of best. What does that even mean? And why is it that the best bands of all time are almost always from the US and the UK and also from 1964 onwards, right? Like, the whole thing is silly. Ugg and the Rocks, right? But also most successful, like, Ugg invented music and the Rocks were really, like, they were really good with the drumming, right? Because but of course, longest running band is different. And then, like, I bet there are probably still longest running bands that are actually big bands. You would just say BTS to be that, but well, good for you. I'd use it. See, but here's the thing. You would have said Aha or George Michael, and those are totally relevant answers, but everybody knows that's not the right answer. Just like everybody knows the best composer of all time is Beethoven. All of these things are so stupid. And so I want to get them to understand the ways in which we have Herman's Hermit. I mean, I could name solo artists that argue are objectively better, more important, but they're not really bands. That's also fair. So, I always think about how are we defining Holst is better than Beethoven. I like you, Krellin. So, right, I just want us to sort of realize in the class that we've all internalized certain kinds of stories. In this case, stories given to us by Rolling Stone magazine and a bunch of baby boomers who, are invested in certain stories. But see, right. But then, of course, when you say usually by value of albums sold, but actual value is very much subjective, right? So, okay, album sold. Well, this is tricky, right? Because the long playing album only was invented in the 1940s. You can't say band to a DJ because the best is Marusha and Westbam. Well, Krellin, you're correct, right? And so the thing, okay, if we go by album sales, that's really tricky because we didn't really get the long playing album until like 49. Around then, it was like the late 40s. So all the artists before 1949, they don't have albums, they have singles, right? They have 78s. So then are we going to go by album or by song? Are we going to go by radio play? Well, that seems kind of funny. Are we going to go international sales? Or are we going to go by, what if you do lots of, and nowadays we're in a space where we have downloads, maybe not sales at all. Like, how are we deciding this? The Bobs. So good, the Bobs. Mozart for easy listening. Dvorak for blending folk into classical music if we're looking to composers, in my opinion. Every generation thinks that. I don't think that's true. I wonder which band is most cited as other bands' inspiration. But by whom? And then Krellin says, sure, there's some Chinese or Indian artists who have sold more the Beatles. And that's also true, right? This is the point. There are artists in India, in China, there are artists from all over the world that who've done amazing things that way. But then we don't care about them in the US. And just note, all of our lists are always like, it's the US and the UK all the time, even though there are other places in the world. And again, right, and then Volpus points out, we've moved away from albums again. So how are we deciding? And then when you think about Krellin is correct right there. That's one of the unifying attributes of Gen X is that we don't think we're the most important. Krellin, yeah, we don't think we're the most important generation. We're just like, whatever, Gen X, that's us. Why is classic so snobby and boring now? Because that's what it's used for. The singer of Friday, Rebecca Black, is obviously the best artist. Also, I think maybe the Baby Shark song, all the different ones. So just my point being that I always want to get the students to examine the stories we've been told about music. I love that song, and I'm good for her for surviving all that harassment, So, and she is a good singer. The song was catchy. The song was catchy. And that's what I will say. The song was catchy. I suspect it'll be one of the classic rock and roll artists, Paladin, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, or one of the Kings, BB, Freddie, Albert. Her later work is really good. Yeah. So I think that's really interesting when I think about influence, and then influence is tricky. Like, influence with whom? If we're talking gosh, Louis Armstrong influenced people. Josephine Baker influenced people. There are all sorts of folks, and in which country are we talking about influence? Sal says, Gen X, as far as I can tell, mostly just gets upset that they're effectively invisible because the tension between the boomers and millennials. So what I would say, Sal, Gen X, the dates of the generations are a little bit, people argue about it. Billie Holiday, of course, right? So Gen X will either start at 1960 or 1965, somewhere around there, depending on where they want to draw that line. So maybe 60, 65. And then Gen X will end anywhere between 75 and 80, depending again on how their cutting up the generational cake. So you can say 1960 to 1980. It's a little bit tricky, but if you want to go for a 20-year time period, you could do that. Yeah, it depends on whether you want to steal Obama from Gen X or not. Yes, right. That's the question. You know what I wish I could do, people? Can I tell you? I wish I could just play music for you all, and I could play music for you. Like I could, like, for example, right now, if I could play music for you right now, this moment, oh my gosh, I would love to do like a music stream where I play songs for you and say, hey, for example, I want to play for you Sunshine of Your Love by Ella Fitzgerald, her cover of the Cream song, because it's amazing, and then we could talk about it together. But the only problem is it's licensing issues, and if I played the music, it would just get muted. But I'd be doing it for educational purposes, so it should be fair use, but they won't let me, and then I'd be sad. Oh, I would love it. I would just totally love to do a music lesson stream, but they'd mute everything. Wait, B. Boodle, you know the Ella Fitzgerald Sunshine of Your Love? Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. It's such... It's really good. I'm a millennial, except a lot of what Gen Z does gets blamed on millennials because millennial is a fun word to say when you're slinging around generational insults. And a lot of the things that people said about the millennials, they also said about Gen X. So like, I'm like, whatever. Okay, look, I'm not doing this because I'm not supposed to, because I'll get in trouble. But I'm not looking up this song right now in this moment. That is not what I'm doing. Of Your Love, Cream, and then Ella Fitzgerald. We're not going to play it because we'll just get in trouble. So I just want you to know that that's not what we're doing, maybe. Oh, thanks. Thanks, South, my pocket square. The only thing you can't do is YouTube. Yeah, generations are a funny thing. My father, born in 43, is very insistent that he's not a boomer since he's a war baby. That is so interesting. The pocket squares may or may not be secretly a folded tie. Oh, you know what it is actually? There's a secret to this pocket square if you want to know the truth. I will tell you in a moment. I was brought up, B. Boodle says, I was brought up on these sorts of songs. Cypher Freak's, Control Freak's favorite trick is to play 2 lines and I know most songs. Oh, that is wonderful. What are the ones that can remember the 80s and 90s? Well, see, the thing is there's also Gen Y, but they just erased Gen Y for a while. So, oh, secret about this pocket square. This is the coolest thing about this pocket square. Are you ready for this? This pocket square is actually lining. It's the lining of the jacket. Can you see it? I think you can. All right, so that's the lining of the jacket, and then you kind of just like... So like you can put it in there and it's actually the pocket lining. So they made the pocket lining so that it could also be a pocket square. So you always have a pocket square with you at all times, which I love. I don't smoke cigarettes. Yeah, 80, yeah. So look, I'm not allowed to play music. Yeah, Gen Y was renamed Millennials and was born in the mid-late 80s. So yeah, I know, it's super handy. So look, we can't do a music stream because that is not what we're allowed to do because everything will be muted and miserable. But, oh, speaking of generations, you know what's super interesting? People were super obsessed with whether or not you were born before or after 1900 in the 1920s, because the 1920s was all about youth culture. It was all like youth, 1920s, youth, jazz age, woo, jazz age, jazz babies, woo, right? And it was like really, people were really invested in this idea of this sort of youth culture being associated with people who are born in the new century. So after 1900 and later. And I was reading this interview about the members of the Comedian Harmonists, and all of them except for one were born 1900 and later, and one of them was born in 1899. And one of the band members was like, "Oh, you know Erich? Yeah, he was born in 1899, and you could totally tell. It was so obvious that he was born in the last century, not like us who were born in the new century." And a lot of actors who were like hip young actors would lie about their age and say they were born in like 1901 when they were really born in 1998, because people were very invested in just that little birth year as this marker of some kind of profound depth about who you were, which, you know, how that was. It is so strange. I mean, everything will be muted and miserable for the VOD, but while live, as long as you're transforming the content, i.e. doing an educational music lesson, you should be protected as fair use if somebody tries to bring the hammer down. That's true. That is true. So I'm going to just look. Here's the thing that's really interesting. You know that there's this history of black artists creating music. All those old pre-1900s were fuddy-duddies during Prohibition, promoting Prohibition. That is fair. Actually, you know, Krellin makes this joke, is that why we never know how old people are from those days? And you would be surprised, there are a number of people who are celebrities whose age is not accurate because there was lying involved quite often for press purposes. So we're gonna just a little bit. So, you know, there's this sort of history of sort of black artists creating sounds and then white artists taking those sounds. Gadzooks. But what's really, and like this, like, you know, going from, you know, minstrelsy to ragtime to jazz, swing, on and on and on, rock and roll. If you're lying to the press, is it really lying? Probably. Madonna is 60. This is a question. So what's really fascinating about this is that when you get the British invasion, you get a number of British artists sort of coming over to the US, sort of basically taking black sounds again and then becoming really popular with them. And it got a little bit ridiculous in certain levels when Botox does do a good job. Sal says, "I practically hacked up both lungs last weekend because I had a customer who I swear swam to the store in a pool of marijuana, and I'm still an advocate for pot legalization." Yeah, it's I don't even drink or like to hang out around people drinking, and I think Prohibition was a terrible idea. Oh, Prohibition was a terrible idea. It was an awful idea. And it was this really sort of tricky thing where a lot of black artists in the US basically, you know, because you had a lot of black artists who were in rock and roll from like 55 to 60 something. But then when rock happens in the mid 60s onwards, basically black artists get pushed out of the genre. And right, so like before, like there were lots and lots of black artists who were rock and roll artists. And once we hit the era of rock, there's basically Jimi Hendrix. Like most black artists get pushed out of the genre and they're not there anymore. And so there's this real frustration with a lot of black artists that the sounds that they developed are now being consumed when they come from England and they don't get to do the thing anymore. So what's really fascinating is that you end up getting a number of black artists who end up covering white artists who are doing black sounds, right? So you'll have these white artists doing these black sounds as rock, and then these black artists will then take those songs and then redo them in a way to, like, you know, kind of like make a point. And I think perhaps one of the most famous examples of this would be Proud Mary, right? Which was done by the Creedence Clearwater Revival. And they take this song, they write Proud Mary, and they're like, you know, left a good job in the city. Like they're like all about how they like live on the riverboat and all this, but they're from like El Cerrito, California, and they're not at all from the South. And then Ike and Tina Turner, they take that song and they make it this whole, they're like, okay, we're going to redo this song. And they do it in this sort of amazing way. But here's the thing. Ella Fitzgerald, the jazz great, did the same thing with Cream's Sunshine of Your Love. And I think that the cover is amazing. So Cream, one of these British invasion bands, right? Eric Clapton's guitarist. And Eric Clapton was obsessed with Robert Johnson, the 1930s blues singer. And people said ridiculous things about Eric Clapton. They said things like Eric Clapton brought the blues back and taught black people how to play the blues again because black people forgot how to do the blues until Eric Clapton came and brought it back. People said stupid things. Krellin, I know the CCR version of Proud Mary, but of course I would. That's my thing. I say everyone who claims to is wrong and simply knows the Turner version. Rubens Girls Have Bodies, but there were also, it depends on which era you're talking about. There are eras where super thin bodies were also popular. Some kind of, certain eras and times you had more Rubenesque bodies, and certain eras of times you were like thin and skinny looking. So it just depends. So this is the Cream song, Sunshine of Your Love. I know we're going to get muted in the VODs, but just a little bit, and then we're going to play. So Cream, Eric Clapton, right? The savior of the blues, blah, 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 British artist. They create the song Sunshine of Your Love, which I'm going to play for you just a little bit of so you can hear it. Let me see if you can hear it. I'm going to turn up the volume for you.
It's getting near dawn when lights close the tired eye. Come on to my house, my house, come on. Come on to my house, my house, come on.
Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you candy. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you everything. Hello, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, Asteni and followers. How are you? I'm Trooper SJP, and this is the Academic Foxhole. Right now, I'm supposed to be playing Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, but we're talking about music just a little bit. We're doing a little bit of music history. And we're talking about that process where white artists would take black music, but then in the 1960s, black artists start covering music by white artists who are taking black music to make a point about sort of reclaiming those sounds and retaking them. So welcome in. And I think the song was on stream title, Troopers Distracted, as normal. Also, I love Sophie Tucker. Love Sophie Tucker. So I just want to play a little bit more of Cream's Sunshine of Your Love, right?
Give you my dawn surprise. I'll be with you, darling, soon. I'll be with you when the stars start falling.
It's too relatable.
I've been waiting so long to be where I'm going, in the sunshine of your love. I'm with you, my love.
Okay, that's the song, right? So Ella Fitzgerald, who jazz singer, amazing jazz singer, amazing scatter, who's been in the music industry. I think she started basically in the late 30s with the Chick Webb Orchestra, who played at the Savoy Ballroom, and then becomes this sort of, maybe you could say the 40s, late 30s, early 40s, probably late 30s is when she probably started, when I'm thinking. But anyway, right, going through the 40s to the 50s. And she, in 1968, takes that song, Sunshine of Your Love, 1342, says Krellin. Could be. And this is what she does with it. So I just want you to listen to the way that she takes this song, Sunshine of Your Love, which is by Cream, but clearly drawing on black musical styles. Yes, okay, Sal, but hear what she does with the riff. Hear what she does with the riff. It's amazing. So like the riff is on the electric guitar, like, right? And so she takes it and this is what she does with it. Are you ready? So check it out. This is Ella Fitzgerald's version. I'll just play the first part. Ella, Ella, Ella. 20s, people at the time didn't always distinguish between ragtime and jazz. And a lot of early jazz bands were playing rags. So there is a crossover moment where those two genres are the same. Chat's like we're gonna do what we're gonna do. There was a song that I really wanted to play for you, Krellin, that I think you would like. It's window out my window, jazz. What is it? Oh, dang it. There's a song that I think you would like. It's a sort of really nice piano jazz piece from back in the day, but I cannot remember the title right now. So, that's difficult. I hope that we're not going to be too terribly muted on the VOD. We'll have, hey VOD people, I'm sorry about that. But yes, I was just distracted. I wanted to tell you something about the Ella Fitzgerald. What I wanted to tell you was, do you know what's really sad is that song is not in any of my classes. I would love to teach that song in one of my classes, but I can't because there's nowhere for me to fit it in because of the way that when you put, it's what I really need to do. If you want to know the truth, what I need to do, hold on. I'm going to just pull up my iTunes and see if I can find it because I think you might like it. It's got this really cool vibe to it. Hold on. And it's from the 20s. Okay, it's At the Window, and it's by Jimmy Yancey, and it's from the 20s probably. And it's a moment where blues and jazz were also a little bit unclear because in the 20s exactly what that line was again a little bit difficult, but this is just a little bit of it's Jimmy Yancey, and people generally tend to call this a blues, but he's clearly also jazz in his stylings. But tell me what you think about this, Krell. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but I wonder if this is in public domain now. We have to finish the turnaround. So that is a blues, like definitely that's a blues, but the piano playing style is very sort of what is happening in jazz in the 1920s as well. So it kind of rides that line between blues and jazz. Yeah, so the bass line is very much, it's a 12-bar blues. The song is a 12-bar blues, but the actual piano playing is what jazz pianists are doing, right? It's that transition from blues to jazz. So, yeah. Gang, I'm so sad that I cannot put Ella Fitzgerald in my syllabus anywhere, and it makes me really sad that like some of the songs that I love the most I don't get to put in my classes because there's no space for them, and that makes me super sad. I wish that I did. But here's what I'm thinking. It's a secret. It's not a secret, but I'm just telling you. I think I should create a class that's all about cover songs. I think that would be really interesting. And if I did a class that was all cover songs, then I could do the Ella Fitzgerald "Sunshine of Your Love." I could put that in there. Paper Topic on Ella. But I think I could do a cover songs class. Sal says that's like very ignorable background music to me, like something you'd hear in an elevator in a dusky lounge, being drowned out by a low hum of conversation and wine glasses clinking, or people, But it's also prohibition, so the alcohol's illegal, so it's kind of exciting. Oh gosh, I could do a whole class in Ella. It would be amazing. Because you love the refined versions of things, but you're teaching history, so you have to play with the first instead of the right. Yeah, I think the problem is that when I'm putting together a lecture, when I'm putting together a class, I need to have I don't always do firsts, although I often do firsts, but not always. But you need to have a through line for your story in the class. And Ella Fitzgerald in 1968, like I only get, in a class I have 26 lectures total. And the first day of class doesn't really count, and one of them's a midterm, so I really have only 24 classes. Like Blizzard doesn't belong in a history of video games class because they didn't invent anything. They just perfected things. See, the thing is, I would put Blizzard in there because here's why I would put Blizzard in there. I'd probably have, if I were doing a history of video games, I'd have a class on the MMO, and Blizzard would be in there probably at the end of that lecture, or maybe middle, depending. I'd probably start with other kind of MMO things. Like I'd be like the MMO explosion, and like I could put Blizzard in there. I'd put World of Warcraft in there. It wouldn't be the whole class at all, but I'd put in Guild Wars, and I'd put in World of Warcraft, maybe a couple other things. So it would be in there, but it wouldn't be, Hurt's a good one. So yeah, I get 24 classes in about 13, 14 weeks, about 14 weeks. And so when I'm hitting the 70s, I've got a lot of stuff to do when I'm doing the 70s. I've got to do big rock, like rock. I've got to do, and that 70s is covering both prog and hard rock and sort of like arena rock. I've got to do punk. I've got to do disco, and then I've got to do sort of soft rock. So that's like 4 lectures for the 70s. And I just don't have time to put Ella Fitzgerald in there. Like there's nowhere to fit her in. So then I just don't get to put her in there. And then when I do, Blizzard would get in for a Diablo. That's true. And then when I'm teaching the history of African American music, when I'm doing the late 70s, again, like Ella Fitzgerald's not going to be in there because there's not a good space for her in that moment. Because I also, how do you feel about Light My Fire, All on the Watchtower? I also think bad 70s. I also think, so for example, one of the things I do to limit myself because I don't have time and there's so much stuff is I only give myself 1 song per artist. So I only get to do 1 song per artist. And when I do Ella Fitzgerald in the history of African American music, but I don't do her 1968. I do her in the 50s, right? I sort of would talk about 1950s jazz, and I do her and Sammy Davis Jr. and some other artists in that moment, sort of like the jazz singer, the cabaret singer. I think I'd also do a piece by Lena Horne at that moment too. But the point is, I just can't do that song, so I would have to have a whole other class that would allow her to be in there. If I did, I could do her and maybe Black Divas, and I could put that song in there, or I could do a class on covers, and I could put that in there. But you have to like find the right rhythm. The song, the class has a certain kind of momentum to it, and so you can't always do the things that you really want to do or even love because it doesn't fit the momentum of the class itself. Yeah. What cover songs would I include in the class? Well, that's really interesting. I would probably have to start with Tin Pan Alley. Well, I'd have to deconstruct the idea of the cover songs first a little bit to talk about how the notion of the cover song. I do actually. I do. Where is it? It's right over here. Do you see it? I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can see it. I do. Oof. There it is. I have my... Oh, I've got such super wild lag here, though, to be honest. Where are we? There we go. It's my GURPS for Dummies. Oh, you see it. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, so I by the way, there is crazy lag between me and the stream. It's fine. It's fine. It's all right. I don't even know. It is what it is. It is what it is. RBV. No. Anyway, we're gonna play Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. Oh, I didn't even tell you what the giveaway for today is. The giveaway for today is Mega Man Redux, by the way. Oh, nice. There, Krellin, do me a favor. Krellin, you are staring at my books because I have a new monitor, and I just need you to do me a favor. Don't judge me because my books are not alphabetized yet. They will be alphabetized. They're just not yet alphabetized. Just please, because right now the books are not alphabetized and it is embarrassing to me. I also have a problem that the shelf that you can kind of see it right up here, this one, I've got some Fate books here, and this is all like character sheets from when I was in middle school. That shelf is too short to actually have those books stand upright, so I have to adjust them, but I haven't finished adjusting this shelf down here yet, so I have to unpack more books. And I just got a bunch of 4th edition books, as a matter of fact. And D&D 4E, a friend of mine just gave them to me, and they have to fit in here somewhere too. And I should probably put them above rather than below. Anyway, my books are not alphabetized, and I feel embarrassed by that. No, you don't have to get consent for staring at my books. It's totally fine. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you candy. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you everything. Hello, Colonel RPG. Welcome in to the Academic Foxhole. I do not know why I'm making this accent at the moment. I just am making accent. Don't ask why. Welcome in. We are going to be playing Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. We just have been distracted by music history and the fact that my game books are not alphabetized, but they will be. And I'm so embarrassed by that. That's all. I'm totally gonna do it. That's all. Because I like to have my gaming books all alphabetized by genre. So I'm like, oh, GURPS is here, Fate is there. Like, I know where all the stuff is. Hey, Colonel. So I always do game system, alphabetized by game system, and then edition, and then alphabetically. So yeah, no, I do. Yeah, but I like to have them all organized, especially because I have a lot of GURPS books. So I just put all the 3rd edition first, then the 4th edition, alphabet, like rule. Actually, sorry, this is actually not okay. This is how I do it. I do it by game system, alphabetically by game system. Within each game system by edition. Within each edition, core books first, and then supplements alphabetically. That's how I do it. That is my life. Because that is what I am. In the order of the system is about where they, Colonel, how are you? How they fit in the shelf. Yeah. Oh, Sunless Skies is great. Ooh. So here's what it is, people. We're in Miami. We are going to play. But by the way, Mega Man. We have a giveaway. Our giveaway is Mega Man Legacy Collection, and we're going to do that giveaway sometime in the very near future. When in the near future? I don't know, but sometime in the very near future. That is a true statement. I do it by the ones I reach for the most are in the easiest reach spots in my chair. No, like I swear, there's a game here this time. There's not enough swamp, but there are these weird things that look like swimming pools, or I don't know what they look like. It's a game. See, I am going to let me know if you like the. No, Krellin, don't leave. Don't leave, Krellin. Time for some slow and glorious. Look, there's a person right here that I feel like we should talk to and find out who they are. I mean, there's a person right there. And we should just find out. You spend a while in the cool shade at this gas station. You notice 3 kids sitting beside their family car, while their parents argue loudly with the cashier inside. The children seem embarrassed. You see the oldest brother lean over and distract his siblings with a story. I came here for distracted music professors, not for video games. This is why Krellin is so good at distracting me. It's not hard. It's not hard because I'm distractible. Because I want to talk about Ella Fitzgerald. Hi, Spunny jumps on Krellin's back. I'm going to ask for a funny story. We know who they are. Are you there? I do it to Anna too. You know what? I honor it. I honor it. Oh, I just missed what the story was. Well, oh well. I missed it. Which one is it? The tent city filled with members of a strange cult. I missed what they did. Meatball stay. So, hey, how's the volume? Is it all right? I want to talk to this new person. I think it's a brand new person we haven't met yet, and I want to find out about them. Also, hi everybody. Oh, I want to tell you all the things. I've really been thinking a lot about the construction of. Oh.
You look good, honey. You got a light? You
Okay.
need a good story.
Let me turn it up for you. Whoop. Yeah, but Krellin, you're a way better human being than the president. Tell me if you like that volume. If you like the volume, I will keep it there. So, who is this person? I hope that we have good stories.
I like to hear about people and make bets with them.
I'm worried.
I like to hear about the weird, handsome people. Get convinced by the rich jackasses who'll play blackjack and lose into the night. Dames who are lit cigarettes burning to the end.
Who are you? But he did. A better human being than the president is a low bar to clear. That's fair. That's fair.
I want to be around furious people who use me and I use them. Are you one, stranger?
Who is this woman? She likes weird, handsome, and she likes to... Like, who is she? What is her story?
Come close to me.
Do you think she's going to murder me?
Hey, got any exciting stories? Like the movies?
Is she a flapper? She might be a flapper. Or maybe she's some kind of beatnik chick? Because time is a little bit unclear in this game, you know? And you don't have a bleached rat living on your head. Ice Bunny! Maybe? The love of my life is who she is, says Vulpes. That is fair. I know, I'm a skeleton! Oh, how is she gonna murder me? That's fair. As a skeleton, she probably can't murder me. She could be into skeletons. Yeah. He just thinks he's a skeleton. So I need an exciting story. I have an exciting story about the rodeo, which I feel like I can tell that story, because that's exciting. She likes the rodeo story. Ooh.
Well, they should let you make the movies, honey.
I know, I'm a good storyteller.
Life is real complicated, and the only person I really have faith in is myself.
That's a head wrap. Into Skeletor just wants a bone. Ba-doom, boom, shh. Ah, Vulpes. Vulpes, you shared a song recently and I was excited about it. That's all.
As much as you're good looking, I can't trust you, you know?
I'm a skeleton. Although I suppose I can't see that I'm a skeleton.
I get close to you and suddenly I lose a part of myself in there and you can take it away from me.
Ah, you have intimacy issues. Got it.
And you got that glint, friend. I see it.
No, I'm a robot skeleton. Hobo skeleton. Skeleton hobo. She seems very segregation area black woman in the South. Yeah, I want to know more about her.
Hey,
What?
got any exciting stories? Like the movies?
I don't know. What do you consider exciting? Wait, I'm not a robot, I'm a skeleton. I don't know what you will think of as exciting. I could tell you the story of the killers on the streets? That seems like it's sort of exciting. Maybe? I do steal parts of people. That is true. You're right, Krellin. I don't know if she'll like this one.
Sounds like you're trying to sell me something with a sad tale. If
Sorry.
you want to do that, honey, you gotta make it seem real.
That was a real story. Whatever. The Colonel forced me to come here, so hi. Hello, Young Rex. LJ. Young Rex. Young Rex. I'm a hallucinating hobo. Hello, I'm gonna go with Young Rex. I feel like Rex. Tell me how to pronounce your name. Just, do the thing with the phonetics. Because I feel like LJ, I feel like Ice Bunny would know how to pronounce that. It's like fjords. Young. Wait, sorry. You just spelled it Jung, and I don't know if you mean Jung like the psychiatrist, the psychoanalyst, like Jung and Freud, or Jung, like, because there's a J there. Yeah, Carl Jung. Are we like Jung and Carl Jung? Is that Jung as in Carl Jung? Or Jung as in jungle? Thank you, Sal. Is it Jung as in Carl Jung or Jung as in jungle? Young Rex?
The law? I can get by with the law.
What am I? I love your those creepy emotes are really good. I appreciate them very much. Carl Jung. Thank you, Young Rex. No, I said them, like, no, we were psychically linked, Sal. We were psychically linked. This was it. No, timing is off. I had the jungle. Yes, it's fine. Sal and I are psychically linked. Example thief. No, mind melding. No. Look, erg. Hey, Young Rex, we're gonna do a giveaway for Mega Man Redux. Psychotically linked. That's fair. Welcome to the jungle. We've got psychoanalysis. We've got couches and pipes that are metaphors for other things. This is oh my goodness.
The law thinks I'm a victim, a sad girl of the streets, a damaged girl, a girl who ain't got no fate and whose daddy didn't love her.
Okay, but what do you think you are?
My daddy's dead, and all cops are in my pocket, stranger. I will tell you that if I tell you anything. The law's bad for us Roman kids. It does not serve us. But you learn to get that sad, pale girl on. They love that.
All right. You got everything I want as long as I'm gonna pay. I will psychoanalyze your dreams. Talk about this collective unconscious. And then I'll talk about archetypes. All the things you want us. Youngle. Welcome to Carl Youngle. Won't you take you to the couch? You know what? I just got goofy today. It's Swedish. Nice. Are you in Sweden, Young Rex? Because I discovered the Exalted sheet for Roll20 has no roller. You've been designing macros all day.
Sometimes you gotta promise them something more and, well, I don't say it's pleasant, but you born in a body. Sometimes people treat you like you need the power taken from it.
Tell us about your childhood. So, Young Rex, you're from Sweden. Ice Bunny is from Denmark. And we also have some folks from Holland. And I am not from Sweden, but one of my very best friends is an ethnomusicologist, and he studies Swedish folk music and dance. And Sweden is a powerhouse for pop music. Boom. That's what I would say. Young as in not old. Now you want to just blast Welcome to the Jungle. That's fair. That is a reaction that is normal.
Hey, got any exciting stories? Like the movies?
All she wants is exciting stories, and I just feel like I don't have that many exciting stories, is what I'm trying to tell you. You know, a lot of these stories are not exciting. They're creepy. I've got creepy stories. I don't know if I've got exciting stories, though. Maybe the story of the music echoing off the Red Rocks in Denver? Yeah, I've just got like deeply depressing stories, not exciting stories. I don't know if she'll like this one, but I like music, so maybe she'll like it.
Stranger. That sweet nonsense will kill me young, faster than the drinking do.
She didn't like that one.
A long time ago, I left that little hole I grew up in and started to make my home wherever I was. I don't regret it. I took a pack of cards and hopped on a cargo train, and when it stopped by someone interesting, I'd let 'em take me to where the law can't see. And you know what's home in this here country?
Tell me.
People.
Interesting. Tell her about the guy that got turned into a skeleton hobo by an anthropomorphic wolf that may or may not be the devil after beating Lady Lucky herself in a card game. Yeah, that's exciting. But me getting Swedish is not the best since I am from Sunderland. Most of us do German. Yeah, I don't think she's supposed to be black. Welcome to the Jungle sung by, how about Axel Merman? How about just Ethel Merman? That would be, Jungle, there's no business like show business. Jungle, welcome to the jungle. I need to get better at my Ethel Merman.
Harder and tries harder than these countrymen. And at night when the grasshopper's squeaking, I think they singing something patriotic about trying luck and failing and trying again.
She's gonna be a problem.
Hey, got any exciting stories? Like the movies?
All she wants is exciting stories, and I'm telling you, that is not, I feel like, not great at all. I want him, Ethel Merman, gonna go, you're gonna die! As do I. I think that would be pretty awesome. You know, Ethel Merman had a disco album. Just side note, she did. You know, I just don't know what she's gonna think of as exciting. That's just, you know, I don't feel like I have depressing stories about dead children is what I have, and none of them are great. Yeah, you know what? I think since I don't think the cops in the streets of Chicago. I think what I will do is tell the story of the hunting bald eagle. That could be exciting. I don't know if she'll like it, but sort of exciting. Hunting bald eagles? Yes.
Stuff I live on.
All right.
That one will keep me going.
Mm-hmm.
I won big back in Reno and I got obsessed with luck.
Well, that's probably bad,
I
actually.
was drinking absinthe at the time and smoking only darn European cigarettes that made me cough like a mule, and boy, after that win, I drank the green very good and smoked like a redwood bonfire.
My goodness.
And you know what I learned?
What?
I learned to pick my tables and expect music on the jaw. Shit. Got any stories with ghosts or murderers or blood or something like that?
Yes. Yes, I do. I have all of the ghosts, all of the murderers, and all the blood. If you want ghosts and murderers and blood, I have got it. I will tell you the story of the indescribable horror living in the farmhouse cellar because that's creepy. And that'll...
Just what I asked for. That spooky stuff gets my heart going like a good hand sometimes do.
I just told you a story about an indescribable horror living in a basement and you're all excited about it? Whatever. She doesn't sound like she got a potato stuck in her mouth when she talks, so she's not Danish.
I spent a night in jail once. And it were nicer than a prospect of going back to where I was born, you know, just to become what my mom always wanted me to be.
What did she want you to be?
When I was 12, she caught me kissing a girl once. And I felt like I would never get out of all the strands of her red-as-hell fury.
Ooh. She's Bonnie. Oh, yeah. Like Bonnie and Clyde. Oh, I see that, Krellin. Totally. Totally.
I said to her, but you said I ain't to kiss no boys, and I ain't. She and I both knew that ain't what she meant.
I do love her.
Next time, let's up the stakes, shall we?
Sure.
Why don't we spend some time with bourbon and 5-card stud? You bring the bourbon, of course.
Of course.
And when the moon's fuller, I might let you in on some secrets on life. Have you any?
Oh, I have all the secrets because I'm a hobo skeleton. Like, I'm a hobo skeleton, my friend. Dupree is her name. Dupree. All right. So, I'm gonna turn that down a little bit because it's kind of loud for me. Let's walk while we talk, shall we? We're heading north. I feel like this is all the swampland. I feel like we're walking through swamps. This is my perception. Anon Issa. Yeah. Wait. No. We were totally in Miami. It's like right over there. I think didn't we go in Miami? Didn't we? Isi, not Issa. Anon Isi. That's right. Anon Isi. Oh, gang. Also, we should listen to this song, this tale, see what happens to it. Look, we have a giveaway. Listen to this, blurts a boy loitering outside this grocery store. He works his way through a long and strange story about the formula which made a single plant able to feed 100 hungry people. There, he finishes. What do you think? Wait a minute. Holy shit, you know this story. It's the story of the man who sought to feed the starving through science, but wildly altered. For a couple of moments, you're too surprised to respond. Seriously, the boy insists. What do you think about that one? I'll just say it's a great story. He smiles sheepishly. Thanks, he says. I heard it from my brother. Anon Nisi. So, I feel like Hey, Miami. How you doing? Oh, hey, we haven't explored Miami, so awesome. Seagulls scream overhead as you mosey down the beach. Out at sea, ships crawl along the horizon towards the harbor. The sun's a little intense, so you search for a scrap of shade. I feel like...
enjoyed a break on the beach, staring off the edge of the world. But the sun is starting to go down, and the breeze is getting stronger. As you're about to stand, a man plonks down near you. He sits a polite distance off, but looks at you expectantly.
I'm going to greet him warmly, although I'm sure this will just involve dead children.
He smiles
That's my luck.
weakly. They just got fired. First Spanish-American radio host in the state, and they fired me. They needed to make cuts, I get that, but I'm twice the... He trails off. Don't know what I'm going to tell my wife.
My house, come on. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you candy. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you everything. Thank you for the host, Demma and Grinny Weasley. Welcome in. How are you both doing? We are currently in Miami dealing with a guy that just got himself fired, and I feel like he's not gonna be dead. I hope. Like burning extra corpses of dead children warm? Like, I'm just saying, we don't know. Gang, addle buddies, pals, friends, confidants. Mrs. Sal's going to Puerto Rico in a couple weeks and I'm sad. Ooh, Puerto Rico sounds fun. You're sad because you can't go, I assume. Is she going for work? I would like to go to Puerto Rico. I'm going to be sympathetic with this guy, by the way, everyone.
I could try the docks, but there's already more men than jobs.
Oh.
And I could barely support the family on what they pay.
Wait.
He hangs his head.
Wait, Grinny.
My boy. I can't bring myself to tell them.
Hmm.
I I don't know what to do.
Well, this is rough. Grinny, why are you dying? Don't die. Also, a 3-hour saga can be nice. A 3-hour nap, don't die. By the way, did you all see that there's a new, did you see the tweet for Night Witches on Saturday? I did a little voiceover for it so that you could hear my old-time radio voiceover voice. I hope you enjoyed it. It was that was, you know, she's going on a cruise and I hate cruises. If the last one was any indication, it just leaves from PR and I just want to visit PR. Yeah. Sal, I went on one cruise once in my life and I enjoyed it very much because I like the ocean and I like not having to cook food. But the downside was that you didn't get to stay anywhere very long. And we were in Puerto Rico, but like only for like 6 or 7 hours. And I would have liked to have stayed there much longer. So I totally see your desire to want to be in the places longer because I also wanted to be in the places longer, but I also enjoyed being on a boat. So I am torn. Oh, you had a headache for over 24 hours, Grinny? Ooh, that's no good. Are you hydrated? Have you taken a painkiller? You should maybe see a doctor. Those are all thoughts. You enjoyed it, but the next one needs better sound balancing. All you get to see in a cruise is the hitchy touristy crap. Yeah, I tried to avoid that. Oh, I didn't, but I should have. That would have been really good. I'm sad that everybody here is having sleep problems. That makes me not happy.
He calms as the sun drops below the horizon. An expanse of darkness is ahead of you. Turning back to the lights of the city reminds you that the world hasn't gone away. After a long silence, he speaks. It's never going to get better, is it?
Yeah, I'm going to give him hope because all of my stories are super sad. So I'm going to try to give him some hope so that hopefully I don't have only miserable stories of death. That would be my hope here. Right behind my eyeballs and usually pain meds don't work. Oh. Ooh, blood pressure. Oh, dinner. Okay, Dema, I will see you afterwards. Oh, by the way, I'm hosting Critical Role at 10 o'clock Eastern. So if you want to watch Critical Role with nice people, come and hang out with us in the Foxhole because that's one of the things we do. So you can hang out together with us and not be with like tens of thousands of people being mean, but you can hang out with us and we are nice. You need to go to the eye doctor. No, Grinny, just go to the doctor. Grinny, you're too awesome not to go to the doctor. Yeah. No, here's the thing. I'm a hobo skeleton. I feel like I can give people hope.
It takes you a moment to notice his sobbing over the noise of the waves. I've got to tell them, haven't I? I'll go to the port in the morning and see if they'll take me. You can no longer make him out in the dark, but his hand touches your shoulder as he leaves.
Gang, can we talk about something for a moment? I'm gonna move on. Also, I'm going to leave because I'm totally healthy. Sometimes we go on long, hour-long tangents. Look, I'm gonna go and do my giveaway right now for. That's what I feel like. I'm gonna do the giveaway for Mega Man Legacy. The Mega Man Legacy Collection is the giveaway for today. And we are still in Miami, everybody. Who's our winner? Krellin, would you like the Mega Man Legacy Collection? It's a retro arcade sort of excitement. Tell me what you think. How are you feeling about this? Krellin. I just want to say how I'm going to go back to watching Monty Python because watching streams is lame. Grinny, before you go, I wanted to tell you something. Krellin just has to tell me whether he's going to take it because I hope he does because that would make me happy. So Grinny. Okay, good. Yay. Okay, I'm excited. That makes me happy. Krellin, I'm going to whisper this to you. And Grinny, before you go, I just wanted to say something. Let me whisper to you, Krellin. Yeah. Thank you, Krellin. Nice. So, I have to tell you something. It's about that moment where the guy was on the beach and was like crying over the sounds of the waves we just went through, just right there. The guy who lost his job and he's so sad. It made me think about Night Witches and the death that's happened and the sorrow and like the little bit of comfort they're giving each other. And Grinny, do you know what's not on Saturday, which is the day after tomorrow, but you know what's going to happen in 2 weeks, right? Well, a week and a half, in 10 days. What's going to happen in 10 days? Lena is coming back, and she's going to find out what has transpired in her absence, and it's going to be super intense. Yeah, when Lena returns, she's going to return in like 10 days, which is also I'm giving a talk. Oh gosh, I've got like a week to finish this paper. Lena's going to come back. It's going to be awesome, but some things have happened while she was away. And, you know, I'm just saying that, yeah, Lena's coming back married to Alexei. This is true. Lena's coming back married to Alexei. This is all true facts. Yep. Yep. I'm really curious too. I want to know how she dealt with, oh, hey, St. Petersburg. Like how she'll be when she comes back from this time, you know? And like how, like what's going to happen like with her and Mel? What's going to happen with Nick and Mel, because Nick is not going to be here this on Saturday. Oh. I'm just telling you. Can I tell you what's the worst about Night Witches? Is that I want to play all the time and just find out what happens. Like, I don't want to have to wait once a week to find out what happens. I just want to know now. I know. Peeps got talent. Yeah, Peeps is going to be here for the talent show. Passing my aunt's place just below St. Pete. Oh, I'll have to say hi to your aunt. Yeah, Peeps going to be here for the talent show. And I'm so excited for that. And I'm excited for Peeps to be here. Oh, and you know, Peeps is going to be here on Saturday, and then she won't be here, but she's going to come back later in the season because she's going to come back in March. Yes, so Peeps is going to be back in March. So she's going to have 3 episodes total that she's going to be on the show. This one, which is February 16th. My goodness. Oh my goodness. And then she'll be here March 16th and March 23rd as well. So that's exciting. I'm pretty excited for PB to have a showing too. Yeah. She's going to be here for the talent show. Does she have talents that aren't butt touching? Does anybody have talents that aren't butt touching? Yeah, so we get to meet her character on Saturday, and then we get to see her again in a month, and I'm really excited for her to be introduced, and I'm excited to see what happens when she comes back in a month. So hey, Chicken Wolf, how are you? I have seen her in The Right Clique, and I have seen her in something else. I've seen her on her stream where she deep dives, and so that's pretty cool. Hi, Chicken Wolf. So I'm pretty excited about that. Some of us don't have butt-touching talents anymore. My talent is that I totally can miss the butt, that I'm like, because I can't see. I can, it's fine. Some of us have butt not touching talents, that we just don't touch butts, and that is our talent. If not, she just started a table story. Oh yeah, her horror one, The Unknown Armies. So excited. I'm behind on that one though. I love her so much, but this isn't the show where we talk about Pumpkinberry. You can talk about how much you love her. She's amazing. Like, she's so awesome. Tis what? Oh, B Boodle. B Boodle. Good night. I hope I will see you on Saturday for Night Witches, B Boodle. It can be the show where we talk about Pumpkinberry. I think she's great. If I attempted a butt touch in real life, I'd get my clock cleaned out and then kicked a few times, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, I just don't touch the butts. Trooper, talk about Pumpkinberry. Tell us why she's good. Oh, well, I'm gonna tell you. Oh, good. I'm so glad I will see you. That was the. Her character is really cool. I think that. This brought up this whole conversation about backstory. I'm gonna read this, and then we can talk about backstory. The kindly old man sharing the shade under the bridge with you tells you a few rambling stories, some true-seeming, some conspicuously less so. All true, he assures you. There is history in this place going all the way back to the Indian times. Strange stuff happens around here. Well, it can't all be true. I see how Krellin is. Krellin's a master. Sure it is, he scoffs, and then, as if to prove himself right, he launches into a story about the children struck mute by seeing La Llorona. And this one you know. It's the story of the children frightened of La Llorona, but wilder and stranger than you remember. I know that one. No. I'm going to come back to it. I just had to finish one because I'm right in the middle of the thing. Watch movies, eat toast. I'll see when you come back. See then? The old man laughs. So I ain't pulling your leg. It's all true. I move on. Okay, so now I'm going to move forward past St. Petersburg and keep talking to you about Pumpkinberry. So, feel better, Grinny. Drink more water, maybe? Or maybe get some caffeine in you? I don't know if that will help. Sometimes that helps. I don't know. So, actually, I remember now what I was going to say, and it wasn't actually about Pumpkinberry, but it was inspired by this Pumpkinberry thing. Oh, it does. The La Llorona trailer looks really, really good, but I'm still sort of like, I'm still messed up about the trailer for Us, the new Jordan Peele movie, because it is freaking me out. It is so scary looking. I just don't know if I can handle it, because it is really scary. I'm just... Oh, hey, Tallahassee. Hello, Tallahassee. But only because the story is about my ghostly drowning girlfriend. Oh, that's fair. Pumpkinberry, that reminded me of backstory. And I wanted to say something about backstory in RPGs. But I'm going to read this and then I'll tell you because we have to just start walking. The bar is crowded with people from every walk of life. Businessmen, young men in muddy overalls, and a crowd of girls in slinky dresses, preparing their blood alcohol content for a night on the town. But it's the squat, sharp-eyed man in a fedora who catches your attention. Let's start a conversation. He launches into a wild story about the mountains of Denver, which preserve voices as if in amber. Halfway through, he stops, recognizing the look on your face. Huh, you know this one? You tell him the story about the music echoing off the rocks, the red rocks in Denver. That's it? I think I like mine more. It's more exciting, sure. So, that's why I'll keep telling it my way, he says. Let's get another round and do a competitive test on the other folks here, shall we? By the end of the night, the whole bar agrees. The new version is better. It might be because your new friend bought them all drinks. I'll move on. As long as you don't talk about the dumpster fire that is Child's Play remake. So, backstory. I want to talk about backstory. I also am afraid that this is our woman Dupree, who is going to want... That's totally her. And I'm very concerned because I just don't feel like I've got good stories for her. But we're here, and we might as well just do it. We're just going to do it. That's it. So about backstory, I was thinking about backstory quite a lot. And, trouble ahead, trouble behind. Hey, Dupree.
I always knew you'd come loping back my way and catch me checking for marks.
You know, Dupree, you are assuming a much closer relationship than we have. I'm just a hobo skeleton.
How you been, traveler?
Fine.
I'm afraid I got myself in some damn tight spots since we last made bets with each other.
Really?
It's the way of the world.
Are you okay? I'm trying to be helpful with this woman.
Give too much, someone gonna take away too much.
But it's a little bit later than the
Don't
20s,
mind
though.
me if I seem like I'm wincing. It ain't you. It's just love making its way to hell. Come over. Come sit.
All right, I will sit with you, Dupree. Yeah, it is. See, this is the thing. I feel like I'm gonna just tell you. She feels. Yes, she feels a little dangerous to me. She feels a little dangerous to me. That's all. I could get a little bit of red flags about her.
Hey,
What?
got any exciting stories?
Oh my
Like
gosh.
the movies?
Not really. But you know what, though? Here's the thing. I can fake it. I'm going to tell you the story of Franklin's travels. Yeah, she would totally stab me. That's the thing about her. I think that she would
Honey
too.
Thrills is the stuff I live on. That one will keep me going.
She's totally yandere all the way.
It
Yes.
ain't possible to
Yes.
live in a world without men, and so it ain't possible to live in a place where things ain't taken. You see?
I see what you're saying.
And it makes it worse if you love 'em. I met a no-shit blonde once who couldn't have stolen anything from me. She was that sweet. And before I could love her, a man took her and we were all back to taking again. And boy, you couldn't blame him, could you?
No? Crown's like, I love her.
I never did. Got any stories with ghosts or murderers
Yes.
or blood or something
Yes.
like that?
I do. I have all of the blood, dead, ghost, murderer stories you could ever shake a stick at. All of them. No, but she talks about having sex with dudes as well. I think she's bi. That's what I think. She would give you a hell of a night just because you would wake up in a tub missing kidneys. Yes, you would wake up with no kidneys. I'm going to tell the story of the hobo. Because I think that she'd like that one.
Sweetheart, did I say I wanted to hear some crap joke?
That wasn't a crap joke.
Feelings are sort of prison, aren't
All right, so apparently the well-heeled hobo is funny.
they? Sometimes I look at you and find myself liking you. But I don't trust you, sweetheart, and there's the game between us.
You know, I feel like this relationship is moving way fast.
The game is always between us, pushing us away from each other, this big checkers board. If I wanted you, I could never tell you. That's the way the game works.
Apparently, you know, we're not dating. That's all. I do get a story about missing kidneys, though. That is true.
Got any stories with ghosts or murderers or blood or something like that?
Yes, I will give you a better dead person story. How about the story of the White Rider bearing the souls of the dead? That's like a ghost story. Come on, you'll like that one.
God damn, you're giving me the chills, sweetheart.
Thanks.
To be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
To be indulged that
I'm with you,
once,
Volpez. Yeah, I don't think she'd open her heart to either gender. She would mess around with anyone but love none. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Volpez, I'm with you.
I've been thinking about this one pinko that came by the creek recently.
There's,
He said
yeah.
that an uneven life was manufactured. That it didn't always have to be peaks and troughs. That evening it out was a way it could be. I think about that for a long time.
I feel like she's the 1930s, yeah?
Is it best to be in a slow-moving river all the time? And never have your heart in your mouth at the rapids? Got any stories with ghosts or murderers or blood or something like that?
Dig, man, she's macking on the knife. The shark bites, my friend. Her only love is her knife. I do. I'm sure I have more creepy stories for you. Because if there's one thing that is true about me is that I have lots of creepy stories. So ghost stories like maybe... that one with the strange cult members is pretty scary. I'm going to tell you the story about La Llorona because La Llorona is Krellin's girlfriend. So I'm going to tell you that story.
Just what I asked for. That spooky stuff gets my heart going like a good hand sometimes do.
I worry.
I
I
don't
worry.
think I'll ever go back to my family. I think about it sometimes.
Yeah.
I remember the smell of the coffee my mom brewed on the stove. Thick and burnt brown. And then I think about her face when I walked through the door. Disheveled. A mugshot. A half smile and nothing to give her or say. And I think, Dupree, she'd be happier if she didn't look on a hustler for a daughter. Hey, got any exciting stories? Like the movies?
Probably not, but I have something I can tell you. Yeah, I just feel like a good hand may be poker or maybe not. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying it might not be poker. Let's talk about Cassidy and talk about love. I want to know what she thinks about love. Oh wait, I don't have to do that because we're already maxed out, so I can tell her anything I want. So I'm just gonna tell her the story of the 2 girls in the haunted house in California. See what she says about that. Let's see what she says. Moist and murderous.
Quit it, stranger.
What?
That sweet nonsense will kill me young, faster than the drinking do. You think you know what it is. I think everyone thinks they know what love is. But I feel like I need the ability to disavow it.
See, she's not into it.
I thought I was in love with the guy who cracked a rib on me, but it was a crush.
Krellin, Bipan confirmed. I want to know. Yeah, I know.
It was a little flibberty gibbet caught up on a post in a hurricane. I look back at it, and it was all his charm, and it weren't a relationship more than a scam.
Who was scamming who, my friend?
Love is dead when you want it to be.
Okay. All right.
All this heavy stuff, it's nice to have someone to pay attention. Soothe my bruises, let the dice be.
Yeah, that was well played.
You want to play a few cards with me before you move on?
Maybe.
Of course you do.
Do I?
Let's play slow for a while and you tell me a tale?
Okay. We've gone pretty far, which is pretty good. And I think that she's off this way now. But I think we should head off this way because I want us to finish some people's stories and get their real forms and find out their like mysteriousness. I think there's stuff there. So I was thinking about backstories. There was a post that one of the Twitter folks posted that caused a bunch of scandal. And who was it? It was one of the people that I follow that you probably follow as well. And it was maybe it was Dungeon Commander, or maybe it was Eric Vulgaris, or maybe it was Gauntlet RPG. Anyways, one of those folks. Hey, Nate the Adequate. The map is amazing, right? It's so gorgeous. And if you check it out, like it's all this really cool sort of drawn art, and then you can see the really neat clouds in the sky. It's very cool. It's very cool. I'm gonna search this building.
This club is
Check the-
quiet
ooh.
and cool and open 24 hours. So you slip into a booth near the back where it's too dark for people to see you haven't bought a drink.
Yeah, it's really good.
Up on stage, a slight little man approaches the microphone.
The reason why I don't buy a drink is because I'm a skeleton. That's why. A watercolor Google Earth. That's good.
He utters a long,
We'll tell you something.
sustained series of low, loud notes. Dissonant, like a song stretched out and slowed down. Your heart races. The crowd murmurs and bristles. The walls seem to shift uncomfortably too.
Sing something happy.
Someone shouts.
Oh yeah, we're not leaving. We're gonna see where this goes because we want to find out if there's gonna be dead people here.
Half the room bails, but you grip the edge of the table and lock eyes on the singer. His next song is even slower and deeper. Your eardrums ache and your eyes water. A waiter struggles unsteadily across the room. Someone in the back shouts,
Stop it!
Yeah, so this is Supernatural. Speaking, old one packed bard confirmed. Speaking of backstory, I sometimes troll Quora and ran across a how do you build a good backstory question, so I worm and vomited it back. Ooh. Let me save this link. Copy link location. And put it over here so I can look at it in the, in the thing. Oh, good. Very nice. I will bookmark it to read it later because that is what I like to do. By the way, even though it looks like a bad idea, I'm going to just stay seated and see whether his creepy supernatural singing destroys me.
The singer continues, and you lose track of yourself between the notes. When he finishes his set, you startle awake and realize that your face is damp with tears. The room is empty. The singer's looking at you, smiling, arm extended, an invitation for a solo.
But yeah, I'm totally going to do it. Totally going to sing. Sing!
He sits in the front row. You sing
Yeah, it is Carcosa-like.
something. You haven't heard it before, but you know the words. And as you sing, a radiant satisfaction grows and grows at the center of your chest. Your eyes tear up, and you hit a triumphant final note.
It's love. It's a song about love. Apparently I'm in love with Dupree.
But suddenly, the
Uh-oh.
singer is gone. Your ears are ringing, and there's a waiter shouting for you to leave. Out on the sidewalk, everyone's losing their lunch, but you feel strangely warm. Love. A song about love. Too bad you can't remember the words.
Being in love with Dupree won't end well. Will not end well. So we got a singing thing, and I will see if I can get the rhythm of this thing right. Try to remember. So when we get the bits and the tips, I sing "We're in the Money" in Pig Latin as sung by Ginger Rogers in the film Gold Diggers of 1933. And I'm still working out the rhythm because she kind of drops a few syllables here and there, but I believe we'll do something like Earway and hey, the anime. Earway and hey, the anime. Iwayat kiyawayat leav wayat wayat wakes te uteet geang leo. Earway and hey, the anime. Either I skays or ani say. Old man the eighty ashen prayer uye uthwe uvia stay on wayang reo. Iwe everne idre ed leans lay of wed brands lay ute day. And when we see the and lay ord we ukly at the I got in the IA. We're in the money. We're in the money. We've got a lot of what it takes to get along. Much better. I really feel like that's the thing. You gotta drop those two syllables and say Anne Leord. We ukle at the I guy in the IA, and then we're in it. See, that's like right there. See, because all this time I've been trying to get all those syllables in, but I realized she didn't do it. Because she's a giant cheater who cheats. That is true. Ginger Rogers is awesome. Thank you. I'm feeling really good about that. I had to just go and like sit there and really listen to her singing over and over and over again. Montgomery. Ooh. And really hear what she was doing because she was messing with the rhythm a little bit. And I'm like, not 100%. There are a couple like little things because she's really subtle with the way that she uses the Pig Latin to change the rhythm of things to sort of cool stuff down. And I'm not 100% there, but I am closer. And I'm very excited about it.
This dapper little peddler shifts restlessly from foot to foot beside his cart, wringing his hands and glancing around.
Oh, you reminded me.
Some kind of mild agony.
Krellin, you reminded me.
He calls, holding up a quarter.
I gotta piss. Will you watch my stuff for a minute?
Sure.
He flips you a quarter and hurries off down the road. 5 minutes later, he still hasn't returned, but a whole crowd is marching toward you from the other direction. They start shoving and screaming at you.
Well, no, but I was distracting myself, Krellin, but I'm not going to forget the backstory thing. Also, what's the matter?
The man grabs you by the arm. You working with them? He shows you 6 tiny, bloody teeth
Ooh.
in the palm of his hand. My daughter's dying.
Yo, I don't have anything to do with
No
this.
matter how you protest, they refuse to believe you
Oh my
were
gosh.
involved in the scam. 2 drag you off to the side of the road and begin to work you over with a bunch of rocks in the end of a saw.
I'm getting beaten up, people.
But someone puts a flame to the peddler's cart. It suddenly explodes in a shower of foul-smelling cures. Your assailants bolt, leaving you face down in the mud.
Yeah, right?
Scraps of who knows what raining down all around you. Fuck. But at least your teeth are still in.
Well, that was awful. I just got beat up and manhandled. So here's the thing about backstory. I was thinking about this. So anyway, one of the people on the Twitter said that what you should do is attempt... Oh, just do this for a while. Who are we talking to? Jimmy. Oh.
Fine. I'll tell you about Paris.
Okay. Look, hold on a second. I need to tell the foxhole about backstories. So it was somebody who said that what you should do is try to make a character with no backstory. Just don't make one. It's Shepherd Book. It is. Basically, he was like, hey, as an experiment, just try making a character with no backstory. And people freaked out. They're like, how can you? How dare you? It's the worst thing ever. And I feel like I'm not bothered by the idea of making a character with no backstory. That kind of happens with Night Witches because you build your story as you go, and there are games where that happens, where you just sort of, like Traveler also, you build your character through the dice rolls. I have no problem with it. There were some conversations, though, in that thread where people were talking about how backstories are terrible and awful and how you shouldn't have them because they're destructive and the worst and blah, blah, blah. And I don't agree with that. However, there are bad backstories, and I think that there are ways of doing backstories that are not good, but that doesn't mean that backstories aren't good. And I was thinking about what do I think makes a less successful backstory? And I think what makes a less successful backstory is a backstory that's finished, where you basically tell the beginning, middle, and end of your character's life, and then you're like, and now I'm a PC character, and there's like nowhere for you to go. Or where the backstory does not impact your present in any way, right? Like if your backstory is sort of fixed, if it's doesn't generate present things, then if it doesn't give us space to interact, then it's not as useful. Yeah, I think backstory is bad. Yeah, yeah. But a number of them were kind of like in the narrative sense where they're like, no, because here's the thing about backstory is bad. I think it can be gamist or narrativist, because the thing about some styles of narrativism is that the character itself is not important, but only the larger story is. And so the idea that you would just build the story in the moment for the needs of the fiction, could also be a narrativist idea, that you wouldn't spend time spending all that time on your character because that pulls away from the group fiction. So I think that there are ways in which backstory is bad could be either gamist or narrativist. It's like if people present their backstories as a completed work of fiction, it shouldn't be completed, it should be constantly evolving. Exactly, Nate the Adequate, right? And I like to think of backstory as something that impacts your behavior in the present day and impacts, and like, I think a good backstory opens up play and opens up means for excitement in the present and the future. Yes, right, Krillin? I'm totally with that. Part of the story should be finished, but not all of it. And I love backstories that give opportunities, right? Like, so for example, here's a really great example. I had a character in a game that I was GMing for, and her character said, and she said about her character, her mother died in a fire, like a chemical fire. Like my vampire who was a former ghoul, her life as a ghoul is over because she was embraced, but being hunted for the Dabbler of Versailles is still in the future. Yeah, that's great, Krellin. I like that. And this person, she said, and it's just a really subtle difference, but she's like, what she said was, she didn't say, my mother is 100% definitely dead and she died in this chemical explosion. What she said is, I was away and there was a chemical explosion at my house, and when I came back, my father told me that my mother had died. I never saw the body because of the explosion. So there's a way in which there's an idea of like a finished story, but she opens it up to a space wherein I could maybe do something, I could play with it, that maybe her mother wasn't dead after all, or maybe her father killed her mother, or like she gave some sort of space that we could do something interesting in the present day that still would have an impact. So I just think, but you could do it like, but I was thinking about those backstories where the player is only invested in the past but not in the present. The player, not the character. The character can do whatever they want, but wherein what they want is just to tell their backstory. That's all they want to do. They just want to tell everybody what happened in the past, but there's no interaction with the present. I don't think that's as good though. The backstory is presented from the perspective of the character rather than some omniscient creator. Yes. Chemical explosion, now her mother's a lesbian Joker, which is what's like, I'm just saying that could happen. Lesbian Joker, just like, I'm just saying it could be a thing. That could happen, right? We want those opportunities for like lesbian Jokers after a chemical explosion. Yeah, and I just think that backstory can be problematic when somebody writes a 50-page backstory that's just like a novelette, a novella with nowhere to go in the present, that doesn't care about the present. But I don't think backstories have to be that. Backstories can be these wonderful opportunities to be more in depth about your character and to expand into the present. I saw someone post Lesbian Joker on Twitter this morning, and I don't know if it's a real comic or fan art, but it was amazing. I want to see it, Krellin. If you can find it, would you post it in Discord? Because that would be amazing. I would love to see it. So let's find out about Shepherd Book in Paris. Anyway, sorry. Thank you, Krellin. It's just that I think that just because some people do backstories poorly doesn't mean that backstories are bad. And similarly, having no backstory is not always a good thing, because sure, some people build it in the fiction, but some people have no backstory and they just stay having no backstory, and then their characters are flat and there's nothing I can do. Like, it's really hard for me as a GM. If they have no motivation, no history, no past, no connections, no drive to the future, sometimes it's really hard to do interesting things with them. If you tell me that in your past you ran away from the circus that was also a criminal circus, that gives me things I can work with. Like, I was like, okay, we've got a criminal circus. I can do stuff with that. I can, give you exciting things. Why does she have to be a lesbian? Why do we know? Because she's dating Harley Quinn? I suppose? That's what I assume. Unless they gender flipped Harley Quinn and was like Harl Quinn? Carl Quinn? Dating Harley, that's what I figured. Yep. I don't know what a gender flipped Harley Quinn would be. Harley could be a male name. Harlan. Ooh, yes, Nate. Harlan Quinn. I like it. That's it. Thank you. Harlan Quinn. That's it. Tell me about
I
Paris.
was with the 369th Infantry Regiment. Maybe you heard of us by our other names. The Black Rattlers, the Men of Bronze, the Harlem Hellfighters. That was us.
The 369th, the Harlem Hellfighters, was a World War I regiment, so he was in Paris in World War I, which puts us again probably in the 30s.
Fighting because we thought it might show white folk that we were Americans too. What a joke.
Yeah, well, it's the 30s, so it's not great. Sorry.
The Army wouldn't even lead us. Gave us to the French.
Dang.
Not the first time America traded black bodies, I suppose.
Nope.
Anyway, why don't you tell me a scary story? You must have heard some good ones.
Oh, I've got scary stories, my friend. I've got stories of creepy dead bodies and creepiness and ghosts. And, well, I could tell you the story of... Oh, but do I have any stories for you? How about, I could tell you the story of... I could tell you the story of the strange men hiding from the rain near Pierre. I don't know if you'd consider it a scary story. Oh, that's just sad. That's not scary. I'll tell you the story of the Leatherman whose ghost haunts Connecticut. There you go. That'll be a good one.
Different folks have different senses of humor, I suppose.
Oh. Well, apparently
They had faith.
that's not a
You know
scary
what it took
story.
for them to trust me? A cross on my collar and cap. I was a boy, but they needed a reverend, and the faithful find what they need. Hey, do you have any spooky campfire tales? Feels appropriate out here, right?
I do. Let me see if I can find one that you will actually find scary. No. How about, that's just sad. How about, oh, they did. You want something scary? How about the creepy mill in the Northeast? That's creepy, scary.
Oh, you got me for a second with that one.
All right. Okay.
Family?
Yes.
Some people go to war. Their whole family's there to see them off.
And the thing is, the Hellfighters, they had all these really great musicians, ragtime and jazz musicians there, including what's his face? William Robinson was in it, but I mean, like there was like they had and they brought jazz to Europe.
When I told
For
Pops I was
jazz.
leaving, he whooped me till I was red. Told me never to come back.
Yeah, there are a lot of creepy things in the Northeast, like the Innsmouth look. It's all that Cthulhu
I
stuff.
wish I hadn't. You know any story that brings a person hope? Something I can tell to my congregation?
I might have some hopeful stories. Actually, I actually have some hopeful stories. How about I can tell you the story of no, I have something hopeful. I have the story of there's no, wait, I have one of the formula which made a single plant able to feed 100 hungry people. That's one. I think that's good.
I'll save that one for a sermon sometime. Home, if a church is God's house, a place where we should devote ourselves exclusively and wholly to praising his name, then there can be no black church in America.
Why is that?
We're too busy trying to survive to do anything exclusively.
That is fair. That is fair.
Hey, do you have any spooky campfire tales? Feels appropriate out here, right?
I think I might have another spooky story for you, maybe. How about the story of how about something spooky, right? How about the story of the missing people and the strange lights in the desert in the Southwest? Or the story of the strange men hiding from the rain near Pierre. That's pretty creepy. Right? I feel like that's good.
Oh, you could rattle a congregation's bones, I bet.
Yes. Yes.
Travel? The only good thing about that war was the men I traveled with. Bearcats, all fire and heart.
I just need one more to open his
If I
eye
can
up.
Imagine a better world. It's cause I've seen what the best of us can do. Anyway, why don't you tell me a scary story?
Ooh.
You must have heard some good ones.
Oh, okay. I can tell you. Ooh, I think I might be able to get his eye completely open if I can tell him one more scary story, which I don't know if I can. But I might be able to. How about... It's a little bit tricky to know what is the best story here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just tell the story of one of the people that I know, and I'm gonna tell the story of let's go with Ray's Lament and Freedom. That'll be interesting to see what he thinks about that. And I think we'll get my eyeball all opened up.
Oh, you got me for a second with that one.
Oh, not yet. Oh, well.
Freedom? A major, a Frenchman, told me all men were free, so long as we weren't chained to a wall. Thought he was raising my spirits. Next day, he gave the order for us to head to Meuse Argonne. In a few days, we'd lost 850 freedmen. Here comes the sun. Sorry, friend, but I gotta go. My next sermon takes me up this way.
We're so
Head out
close.
there, look for me, all right?
All right.
Start talking. Wish we had time for more of it.
Indeed. We're
Be careful out there, all right?
thanks.
The world's a cruel place, and men who live in it are cruel. And the Lord ain't stingy with the suffering.
Well, thanks, Shepard. Thanks. Look at that, I've been beat up. So he's off somewhere, but I think we need to... Where are we going? Northwest, maybe, to Montgomery? I think we can meet some more people before we go. I think we may not be ready to talk to him just yet, but there's a whole, like, we haven't walked through this part of town much at all. There are a lot of things, a lot of people we haven't spoke to. But let's head north and west a little bit, and hopefully we can find a town. I'm going to have to reach out to my old rhetoric and video games professor and make sure he's aware of this game. It's wonderful. Oh, you found it? Oh, good. And I do have to... I think that your professor would find this really interesting. It has a lot going for it in terms of what it's doing in terms of narrative and how it integrates music in, because music shifts the genre based on where you are in the country. And it's really sort of dealing with the idea of how do stories develop and change over time, and that's really interesting. We're going to search.
This church's doors stand open. You wander in to ask for a glass of water. There's no preacher, only a disheveled music teacher and a class of young men picking out bawdy songs on the organ.
I really love the art. I'm going to ask for some water.
The group can't hear you over an improvised erotic limerick shouted over an equally indelicate tune.
That's fair. Let's wait and listen.
The verses escalate in depravity until the music finally swells and comes to the grand finale.
I'm a skeleton hobo. I can applaud for that.
Smiling, the teacher invites you to a seat in the pews. A boy returns with water and cookies, and as you eat, the group sings a song about genitalia in perfect three-part harmony. Wonderful! The teacher cries. Again!
You know, music was super filthy in the Renaissance. They just, like, they were filthy back then. But you know what? It's cool. It's cool. I think that over there might be our preacher friend. This kindly old man sharing the shade under the bridge with you tells you a few rambling stories, some true-seeming, some conspicuously less so. All true, he assures you. There is history in this place, going all the way back to Indian times. Strange stuff happens around here. Running a class in Alabama. Ooh. I bet I could do a really cool class about the music in Alabama. And I love how the stories change over time. Sure it is, he scoffs. And then, as if to prove himself right, he launches into a story about the terrible king of bulls, exacting revenge on those who imprison his people. And this one, you know. It's the story of the bull who terrorized travelers on the road, but wilder and stranger than you remember. I know that one. See then? The old man laughs. So I ain't pulling your leg. It's all true. Let's move on from there. So this is the guy we just talked to, and I would like to talk to him. Yeah. Music's filthy, people. Music is filthy, filthy in the best way. I mean, when I think about the 1920s and a lot of blues, some of it is just, put your jelly roll in my sugar bowl. That's a euphemism, my friends. It's a euphemism. Or let's camp here on the Alabama-Mississippi border and see who this person is. Maybe it's a new person. I'm excited to find it. Chopping that meat! Yes. Yes. Oh, hey, a new person.
I take a look at you. Figure we're heading to the same place. You've been walking a long time, same as me. Find where you fit.
Levi's like, put your jelly roll in my sugar bowl? Surely that's not a euphemism. They must mean that literally. What are you talking about? Oh my gosh, so many blues and swing songs are just filthy. Oh, ooh, well that's cool. Crimson Cup of Wonder. I mean, yeah, so many songs. And sometimes, yeah, I love, so Sophie Tucker, I think Vulpes was talking about Sophie Tucker. And at one point in her song, I'm the Last of the Red Hot Mamas, she's like, I'm the last of the Red Hot Mamas. They've all cooled down but me. I need to get this music off the background or else I'm not going to be able to get this melody. Others hugging, I'm the last of the Red Hot Mamas. They've all cooled down but me. Others, wait. So it's about how she's like, she knows what romance is all about, right? Others hug and kiss, hug and squeeze and kiss, but they don't know what it's all about. When I kiss men, they feel like they've had their tonsils taken out. Cause I'm the last of the red hot mamas. I'm getting hotter all the time. I'm the last of the red hot mamas. They've all cooled down but me. Some like, oh wait. Others, what do they know? Come get your lovin' from this hot volcano. I'm an overheated, try and beat it, hotsy-totsy hottentot. And when I get going, oh baby, I'm hot. I was born in the hot Bahamas, and lately I'm in lovin' prime. Oh gosh, there's like, burned up. There's just, yeah, it's just, I love that song because I love it when she says, when she kisses men, they feel like they have their tonsils taken out. It's good. It's good times. That's all. Oh my goodness. The last 20% of music is about other things that are not sex. Oh my gosh. There's that one thing about how like she burned off the guy's mustache and then, way up in Alaska where the natives freeze, an Eskimo left my hut in his BVDs, cause I'm the last of the red hot mamas, I'm getting hotter all the time. Yeah. Oh, I love to wreck 'em. I gotta get all those lyrics. They're Sophie Tucker. Oh yeah. Built for loving, not for speed. Oh my gosh. Or Mae West's I love a guy what takes his time. That is about what you think it's about. That song, I like a guy what takes his time. I like a guy what takes his time. Oh gosh. Hold on, because that is wait. Can I get I like a guy. That is, where are my fingers? I like a guy what takes his. I feel like it's from the 30s. It should be fine, right? I mean, if it's from the 30s. Oh, okay. So here's the lyrics. Again, it's from the 30s, so it has to be fine. A guy what takes his time, I'll go for any time. I'm a fast-moving gal that likes him slow. I got no needs for fancy driving when I see a guy arriving in low. I'd be satisfied, electrified to know a guy what takes his time. Oh, the 30s were totally Randy. A hurry-up affair, I always give the air. I wouldn't give any Russian gent a smile. I could go for any swinger who would condescend to linger a while. A lullaby would be supplied to have a guy what takes his time. Yeah, so like, you know, I'm just saying, I want Wang Dang Doodle. Yeah, right? When everyone's broke, there's not much else to do but to, you know, I'm just saying. There are, yes, people, Backdoor Man, going on Howlin' Wolf. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, right? I'm just saying that many of these songs are dirty. But I love them because people think that nobody had sex in the 1920s. And you just play this music and you're like, people had sex in the 1920s. And then they sung about it. And then like, Shakespeare is filthy. That's all I'm saying. Let's see.
I wonder if that place don't exist. No shame in it, I do. Plenty of time I wonder if I'll just walk forever.
I don't know. Laser beams, everyone. Okay, I'm sorry. I've got to do a quick aside before we get back to this story. Do you know what makes me crazy? Well, or I mean, none of you all, because it's, you know, back in the day. If people didn't have sex in the 1920s, there would be no people in the 2020s, and this is fair. You know, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Relax. That song is filthy, but like nobody seemed to get it at the time. I know, just a juke joint to share music. That would be so great. But like Relax is a filthy song. It really is. But like everybody's like wearing t-shirts saying Frankie says relax, Frankie say relax, and nobody was like, I mean, the song, right? Relax, don't do it when you want to get to it. Relax, don't do it when you want to come. When you want to come. When you want to come. Come. Huh! Like, what do you think that song is about? What do you think that song is about? But people were like, I don't know. People didn't get it. I was listening to that in the car last week and had the same thought. This is absolutely lewd. It really is. It is not. Oh, I have seen the original bar video in the gay bar. It was really clear what that song was about. Actually, I remember though, people could just not know things. No, I'm telling you, dream those dreams, scheme those key schemes. Hit me with your laser beams. Ow, ow, ow. Yeah, no, it was filthy, but it's funny how people didn't get things sometimes. I mean, I think there are some people who did get things, as Krellin points out, but I think some people didn't. Just like Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Relax, don't do it when you want to suck to it. Relax, don't do it when you want to come. When you want to come. Come. Which is, I suppose, about dancing. Or, I mean, I don't know. They don't even really try really hard to make that not clearly obviously about lots and lots of sex all the time. I mean, I don't know. But people were just like, hit me baby one more time. I think that that's actually about sex, not domestic abuse. Hit me baby one. Yeah, I don't think it's about domestic abuse. I think that's about sex. I think that people can interpret about being about domestic abuse, but I think it's about sex in that like slightly creepy way where you're like, Back then, I knew people who refused to believe George Michael was. Oh yeah, people just refused to. It's about blackjack. Okay, speaking about people refusing to believe that George Michael was gay, I knew people who refused to believe that Boy George was gay back in the day. As a matter of fact, some woman took Boy George to court for palimony, saying that Boy George was the father of her child, her love child. And Boy George testified in court saying, I have never had sex with a woman. And people still didn't get it. And I was like, you just don't want to get it. That's fine. What? No, I'm just telling you, there are people I know, like, I just feel like it is true. Keep in mind the internet wasn't around. Regional euphemisms and such wouldn't spread as much. So things did go over people's heads. Also, to be honest, one of the things about the 80s is that people didn't start coming out publicly until the 90s. Like you rarely had people who were actually out. So many people just didn't even think about it. I will date myself all the time because I'm pretty awesome. I feel like I should be dated all the time. Oh wait, you mean that you're saying that I'm old? Sorry, I just had I like a good making fun of me for being old joke every once in a while. Little Red Corvette also okay, you that line in Little Red Corvette. First off, I blame all of you for this, but I'm not mad at you. So Little Red Corvette, right? I guess I should have known with the way she which most signs that it wouldn't last. She took me to the place where her horses run free. Right. We're talking about Trojans, which means we're talking about condoms. I'm just saying that was also a song about sex. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm gonna take myself out for a nice dinner. I've got food in the fridge. Well, I don't have food in the fridge. I have takeout in the fridge, but it is same. Trooper is younger than me, even though he was born sooner. That's fair, Krellin. That's fair. Yeah, right. See, there's no shame in it because here's the thing. In our fine, ripe age, we actually remember the 80s, and that's pretty awesome. That's all. Takeout is food. It is food. And I've got some good takeout in there. I'm excited for it. Who is this guy? What does he want?
How did I get here?
Ooh. A nice romantic candlelit. Oh, if I had a romantic candlelit dinner for one, I have some plum wine, some Japanese plum wine in my cupboard, and maybe I would give myself a little glass of plum wine, and then I'd have some chicken tikka masala, and it would be awesome. Because, yeah, Prince would never talk about sex. I don't even know what we're talking about.
When you're alone, all you have is all this time. Time to trace the lines back to where things started.
Krellin says, literally every single Prince song ever wrote, every single song Prince ever wrote is about sex, and that is probably true. Yeah, probably. Like, there might be one out of all of the songs that he wrote that is not about sex, but maybe that one is also still about sex. Or maybe I'm just like, maybe she's never satisfied. I'm just saying, right? It's just, yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, now I feel like hearing a hopeful story. Got any of those?
I do. I have hopeful stories. Hey, this is a new person, by the way. We haven't met them before. Be careful with the wine, though. You don't want yourself thinking you don't care about you and you're only trying to get into your pants. You want to be romance. That's true. I need to be like, hey, romance myself. It's all about sex all the time. Oh, hey, you know that song, Let's Talk About Sex? I wonder what that one's about. By Salt and Peppa. Do you think that one's about sex, though? Nah. You want a hopeful story, right? I'm going to tell the story of the millions of colorful butterflies sweeping across the sky, because that's wonderful. Because millions of colorful butterflies, that's wonderful.
A story that's more happy than the world really is.
It's about so things about ponies. Let's talk about sex, about the joys of motherhood. Oh, what's that one? Oh, George Michael, I Want Your Sex. That's another one. I wonder what that one's about. No one knows. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go back to my room. I'm just telling you, they're songs about sex. Baloney ponies. Monet, Monet, ride the pony. Oh wait, sex is the joy of motherhood.
A story about happy people.
Yeah.
Something that's mine. Isn't that what a man always wants?
Maybe.
Home, you might call it.
Sure.
40 acres and a mule.
This game has got such good writing, everyone.
Tell me a sad story. Sad and true, okay?
Oh, sure. I have got lots of stories of dead children. If you want sad stories, I can tell you. The story of the boy who died in the fields where no one could be called to collect his body by Duluth. I've got sad stories. The Humpty Dance is clearly about... Disco Stick is about lightsaber battles. Oh, but Louie Louie's about some guy just named Lou, right? Yeah. Or maybe post-war. Yeah. Antebellum, yeah. That's right. He'd be antebellum.
When I was a young man, it took a while for me to accept it. All things change.
Yeah.
When I did,
But how far after the war?
hard. Sometimes you need to salt the earth to get where you need to go. But anyway, you know any good true tragedies? I feel like one of those tonight.
It means after the war. Ante. Ante is after. Like antediluvian is after the flood. But then what? Krellin, I said that before you typed it. I totally did. Right. This is Sal. This is the thing. Now that the eye's totally open, I said it before you typed it. That I should give him stories that he may not want, so that I don't have to worry about. Yes, I'm sorry, Krellin. I'm in your head. What were all those memes from back in the day? I'm in your head, verbing your noun. I'm in your head, stealing your thoughts. I'm in your head. You know. Let's do. Let's talk to him about travel, and let's say the story of the missing people, Strange Lights, the Southwest.
Trying to scare me.
No,
Ain't working.
it's fine.
Stories about traveler. Well, good, I suppose.
I'm in your base killing your dudes. I'm in your base verbing your noun.
When I first picked up
I have a
food, it weren't bad. Had me in shackles.
Oh, so the eye, so this is interesting. The eye that we're seeing, it measures two different things. Stories can have the eye, and then your relationship with this person can have an eye. And when you get the eye completely open like it is right now, we can then progress to the next chapter of their story. And when we get to learn more about who they are, and like, because oftentimes the first time we meet them, they kind of give us a front where we get to know kind of like general things about them, but not like their true inner self. And then if we can get the eye open, the next time we talk to them, we get to their second chapter. And then I think after the third chapter, we get to see their true form, like who they really are on the inside. He's ripping her now on stream, and it's not against the TOS. And so there's this one guy who's this kind of cowboy who we normally see him just sitting not by his horse by the fire, but when we talked to him enough, we realized that he's actually on fire and covered in barbed wire, and it was super creepy. So we want to try to get far enough in these people's stories to see what they are really like, what the truth behind them really is. So that's this really cool thing. Yeah, it's really interesting, and we've just met this person, so we don't really know him well enough yet, but we will get to learn more about him. So we have to like cycle through stories.
So how about a scary tale? We're here at a campfire in the dead of night after all.
And now I'm not going to tell him a scary tale because he's going to want one later. And when you match what he wants with the story that you tell, it gives you more of the eye, but our eye's already maxed out. So I feel like I don't actually have to tell him that. So I'm going to tell him a story that seems interesting to me, that maybe I want to learn something about, like maybe the story of the newspaper reporter with only positive news. Oh, thanks. Thanks. I like a good...
Guess we all got a different sense of humor.
I want to tell you something. I need to wear one of my stand-up collars for a stream because I want you to see, because I've got these really cool turn-of-the-century collars, and I want to show you. And it's my jacket lining. It's super cool.
Sometimes you have options, but no choice. You understand? Sometimes you're told you could do anything, but there's only one thing to do. So, tell me a sad story.
You like sad stories?
Okay.
And I've got sad stories, but I'm not going to tell you. It secretly is. It's not. I hate secrets. Let's talk about the future with this guy and see what he thinks about the stories of the travelers who moved at the speed of a snail. Maybe that will be interesting. I don't think it's a sad story, though.
Never had much use for the future.
Secrets. Krillin, there's a comedy bit about the word secrets.
All I ever wanted was something that I owned. That was where I was hoping to get to those days. Here's the sun. I got to get going. My route goes up this way, but I sure did enjoy talking to you.
All right.
It's probably the kind of story you've heard a million times. Down on your luck, need work, take whatever you can get. How about you? Does my life sound familiar?
I'm dead. I'm a hobo skeleton. You know, that's all I'm saying. So we can now access this chapter 2 the next time we talk to him. But there are a lot of other stories. Hey, it's Birmingham, Alabama. Let's go to Birmingham. That's what we're going to do. But we're actually going to call the stream for the moment. I'm not a skeleton. Here, come over here, hang out with me. Everybody, we're hanging out. So, here's what's up. This is the story, everyone. If I get this job interview for Monday, I'm going to celebrate by buying a new waistcoat. Ooh, nice, Nate. I support that. I need a really good I've got a couple of vests, but I need new ones, and I want something really cool. What I really want are some, when it comes to a waistcoat, I really like a good double-breasted waistcoat in a brocade with a collar, sort of like a 1890s style. That's the kind of style I really, really like. But I think for that, I'll just probably have to find a pattern and make it myself. But I don't have a sewing machine. And also I'm out of practice sewing. But I really do like some really good vintage vests. I think they're really nice. I know, right? Every time I want to buy a waistcoat, I just buy a jacket instead. I really want a good 1890s style waistcoat vest with a nice collar, I really like collared vests. I like them a lot, but they're not really sold that often, so I think I'd probably just have to make them myself. And as I get older, the more I want to dress like an octogenarian. Hey, good style's good style, my friend. I've got some great bow ties, and I want to get some new ones. Oh, and I have never wanted to buy a waistcoat. What's it like? Well, they're not for everybody. Yeah, collared vests are fun. I like them. They because then you can also wear them without the jacket and that they still look very nice. Oh, yes, please do. Vulpus, please do send me a link over on Discord. Oh, collared vests are really nice because they also look good without the jacket. So they're nice. I don't even like wearing polo shirts. Are you more of a t-shirt sort of a person, Krellin? T-shirt? What do you think about like Hawaiian shirts or bowling shirts. They're like options. What do I want to tell you all? I want to tell you my schedule. So at 10 o'clock, yeah, they're nice, right? They're nice. At 10 o'clock tonight, I'm going to be hosting Critical Role if you want to hang out and watch Critical Role with me. And Saturday at noon, I will be playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and that's Eastern time, and at 6 Eastern time, I will be GMing Night Witches on Geek Space TV. Ooh, a toga. Ooh, that would be... Well, togas are actually kind of like real full-on Roman togas are really heavy, and I think a bit awkward. Collard greens, that feels like a B-52 song. Time zones, I know they're the worst, right? But no, it's fine. But at least they're not as bad, right? Because in the early times, it's not as bad. Next week, I have to tell you, next week I'm giving a talk in Ithaca, New York. So I will be here for my Thursday stream, I'm pretty sure, but I will miss the Saturday stream because I'm flying back that Saturday morning from Ithaca. So I think I think the talk I'm giving is Friday evening, and I'm pretty sure I'm not flying out on Thursday because I have to teach. So I think I'm flying out Friday morning, giving the talk. So streaming Thursday, flying out Friday morning, giving the talk, flying back Saturday morning, not doing my Saturday stream, but then doing Night Witches. Oh, yes. And then I'm doing Night Witches Saturday. So I'm going to miss my Saturday stream next week. And the week after, I'm going to miss my Thursday stream for more schoolwork. Yes. No, my flight will not be delayed, Krellin. It will not be delayed. That is... no flight delays. I should be back because my flight's early in the morning, so I should be back, but I hope that the weather is okay and not ridiculous because I do not want to miss the Night Witches. That is not my goal. Yes. So just no. All right. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go eat. Oh, I should tell you all. I have if there's anyone who's hanging out and would like to give me a follow, give me a follow if you like. When we hit 500 followers, I will do a stream in Pig Latin. And, that's fun. We have a Discord. So, this is when Trooper does a talk in vintage Russian uniform and streams from the airport. Ooh, nice. Thank you for the Discord. Join our Discord. We're really fun. We're really nice people. We hang out there. And you can find me on Twitter if you want to. And... that's at Academic Foxhole. And if you want, you can also... Krellin, you're not the devil. You're just awesome. But you're devilish. Woo! Thank you, Nate, for joining the Discord. We hang out. You're devilish, like a devil's food cake. No, that sounds weird. I just called you devil's food cake. I'm sorry. That's weird. Sorry. Nope. Rewind. Whoop. No devil's food cake, Krellin. And although devil's food cake is pretty delicious, sorry. And then we have the Twitter, if you want to find me on the Twitter. Oh, devil's food cake donuts are amazing. And I'm just, I'm liking a donut. Also, I need donuts. No delays for Trooper. Nice. And this is I'm totally a donut. You are what you eat. Now I want to eat donuts. Also, you can find me on YouTube if you like, where it's just the archive of the shows if you miss something and you want to see it. It's cool. I'm gonna go though because I want to grab a little bit of food before Critical Role tonight in 45 minutes. No eating me without consent, Trooper. That's fair, Krellin. I would only eat you with consent. Again, I'm in your noun, verb in your noun. That's it. Oh, there's this really great one, and it's a picture of Toni Morrison, and she says, "I'm not in your house dismantling it with your tools because that never works." And I thought that was good. I liked it. Consent, tasty. You know what? We're gonna go. I'm gonna see you all in 45 minutes for Critical Role, and you all are the best. I will catch you around the Discord. I will see you in 45 minutes, And everybody, take care of yourselves. And thank you for being here. It was such a lovely stream, distractions and all. And next Thursday, we're gonna meet more friends and unlock more of their stories is what we're gonna do. We're gonna dig in some deeper. Yeah. I'll catch you on the flip side, everyone. Continue being you, people. Take care, everyone.